So the heading is intercept form of a plane. So, but before that, we are going to see what is the intercept form of a line.
Sir, I have uploaded it.
Yeah, I got it. So this is a comma 0, this 0 comma b, right? So if the intercepts are a and b, then what is the equation of line x by a plus y by b is equal to 1? You guys remember this? So what do you mean by intercepts? Intercepts are the distances from the origin to the point where the line cuts the axis. Am I right? So are you guys able to understand? So A is the x-intercept, B is called as the y-intercept. If you know the intercepts, then you write the equation of line as x by A plus y by B is equal to 1. This is in 2 dimension. Now what happens in 3 dimension? So in 3 dimension, instead of writing the equation of a line, we will be writing the equation of a plane. Okay. So intercept form of the equation of a plane. That is, if you know the intercepts which are made by a plane on the x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, then the equation of the plane is given as x by a plus y by b plus z by c is equal to 1. It is very, very simple to prove. Okay, I'll show you guys. See. So what is the general equation of a plane? Ax plus by plus cz is equal to, or I will write it like this. This is the form we have been seeing, right? So Ax plus by plus cz is equal to capital D. What does ABC represent?
Direction ratios.
Direction cosines.
No.
Normal.
Yes, direction ratios of the normal to the plane, right? So if I want the x-intercept, okay, then I need to put observe. For x-intercept, can I put y comma z to be equal to 0? When y and z is equal to 0, then a into x plus b into 0 plus c into 0 is equal to d. So x will be equal to d by a. Accepted? Similarly, y will be equal to capital D divided by b. Z will be equal to capital D divided by c. Right? So if I take all these values and substitute it in the equation of the plane, then what will I get? A into capital D by a So if I take all these things and substitute it in the plane, then I will get, see, observe. X by a plus y by b plus z by c is equal to 1. This is going to be the required equation of the plane. In which form? This is in the intercept form. Okay, so listen. So the question will be like this. Find the equation of the plane with the intercepts 2, 3 and 4 on the x, y and z axis. So you can directly write the equation. What is that? It is x by 2 plus y by 3 plus z by 4 is equal to 1. Did you guys understand what I did? Where A, B, C are the x, y and z intercepts respectively. Okay, see, one thing I just observed. See, this ABC represents what? The ABC which is written in the equation represents the direction ratios of normal. Here also we are using ABC. These ABCs do not represent the direction ratios of the normal. They represent the intercepts on the coordinate axis. Okay. See, if this point is confusing, I would like to make another way to prove this. Listen, guys. So instead of writing small a, small b, small c, I will write the general equation as ax plus by plus cz is equal to d, where ABC represent the direction what? Ratios. Okay. Now see, if I say if a comma 0 comma 0, 0 comma b comma 0 and 0 comma 0 comma c represent the intercepts on x, y and z axis respectively, then what we can do is, if you take this and substitute it here, you will get a into small a is equal to capital D. Okay, which implies a will be equal to capital D. Capital A will be equal to D by A. Similarly, B into B will be equal to D. I hope you're able to understand. If you take this and substitute it here, you will get B into small b is equal to D. B will be equal to capital D by B. Similarly, if you take this point and substitute it here, then C into C will be equal to capital D, which implies capital C will be equal to D divided by C. So what will be the required equation? Required equation will be ax plus by plus cz is equal to d. In the place of capital A, write it as d by a into x. In the place of capital B, write it as d by b into y. In the place of capital Z, write it as, capital C, write it as d by c into z is equal to d. Everything will get cancelled. Then you will get x by a plus y by b plus z by c is equal to 1. Okay. So this is the actual proof of the intercept form of a line. Am I clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the next topic that we are going to concentrate is, see, this is an important one, okay? Writing the equation of a plane which is passing through the intersection of two other planes. So you are expected to write the equation of a plane which is passing through the intersection of two given planes. So how to write? See, I'll show you guys. Listen. So you're able to see me?
Yes, sir.
So listen, we have a book. Okay. So there is a book I have in my hand. You know what is a plane, right? This shape is the plane. The video getting recorded. Yes. So this is the shape of the, this is the plane. So our interest of study is, we want to write the equation of a particular plane which is passing through the intersection of this plane and let's say this plane. Means I can think of a paper like this. We are able to see this. So this is a plane, guys. This is another plane. So this paper itself is a plane. Like this, through the intersection of two planes, how many such planes can actually pass? So there's one plane. Sorry.
Infinity.
Infinite.
It will be infinite number of planes. Means I can write the equation of all the pages that I have, provided I know the condition for which this page is passing through. Okay. So try to understand one important point. If there are two lines, okay, there are two lines, then the lines will intersect at a point. Right? So two lines will intersect at a point, and two planes will intersect at a line. You're able to understand? So through the intersection of two planes, you can write the equation of another plane. So that is this paper. So that is what our interest of study is. Okay. So that is what, I hope you are able to visualize it, right? You're able to sense what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the bottom of the book. This is the top of the book. And this is a plane. The dotted plane is something, it is a paper in between. Okay. If I take this plane as P1 is equal to 0, if I take the other plane as P2 is equal to 0, then the equation of plane 3 then the equation of plane 3 is given as P1 plus lambda times P2 is equal to 0. So equation of plane P3, write it down. Equation of P3 is P1 plus lambda P2 is equal to 0. Guys, you're able to understand? So how I got
Yes.
this is actually, so how I got this is, see, I'll give you an example. If I have two lines like this, okay, if I have two lines, L1 is equal to 0 and L2 is equal to 0, then if I want to write the equation of a third line passing through this L, then L is written as L1 plus lambda L2 is equal to 0. How you are actually able to get this is AX plus BY plus CZ is minus D or plus D is equal to 0. Okay, I will take it like this. So AX plus BY plus C is equal to 0. I'm talking about the equation of a straight line in two-dimensional plane. So A1x plus B1y plus C1 is 0. A2x plus B2y plus C2 is equal to 0. So if I ask you what is the general equation of a straight line, what is it? So general equation of a straight line is a linear equation in two variables. Can I say it like that? Are you guys able to understand?
Yes,
So
sir.
general equation of a line is, it's a linear equation in two variables. So the equation of second line is also linear equation in two variables. So when you add the first equation with the second equation by multiplying with lambda, again you're going to get what? A1 plus lambda times A2 into X plus B1 plus lambda times B2 into Y plus C1 plus lambda times C2 is equal to 0. Are you guys able to understand? So if I call this A1, so depending on the value of lambda, how many such lines can you define through the intersection of these two lines? The value of lambda, you can choose infinite number of values, right? So the equation of a straight line passing through the intersection of two other lines is given like this. In a similar way, equation of a plane passing through the intersection of two other planes is given by P1 plus lambda P2. Okay, because it is the same logic. What is the equation of a plane? A1x plus B1y plus C1 is equal to 0. A2x plus B2y plus C2 is equal to 0. If you add them, you will get a linear equation in three variables. So linear equation in three variables is a plane. Am I clear, guys? So here the task is how to apply this concept. Let's take this example number 20. Okay, just give me a minute. This is 11.3, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So example number 19 is over. See, look at example number 20. Find the vector equation here. Find the vector equation of the plane which is passing through the intersection of these two planes. And it is passing through the point 1, 1, 1. Okay. So if I take this plane as P1 is equal to 0, if I take this plane as P2 is equal to 0, then what will be the equation of the plane which is passing through them? So solution is equation of plane passing through line of intersection of whom? Of P1 and P2 is given as, or is given by P1 plus lambda P2 is equal to 0. Accepted? So what is P1, guys? So first what I will do is, it is always easy to write them in the Cartesian form. So if I have to write the equation of first plane in Cartesian form, directly tell me. It will be
X plus Y
X, Y, Z equal
Plus
to
Y plus
6.
Z equal to 6.
X plus Y plus Z minus 6 is P1 plus lambda times 2x plus 3y plus 4z plus 5 is equal to 0. Accepted?
Yes, sir.
Now our work is to find what is the value of this lambda. Because there is only one plane which we are specific about. What is that one plane trying to do? That one plane which we are which we need is passing through 1, 1, 1. Am I right? So this is the equation of plane P3. Since P3 is passing through whom? 1, 1, 1. You take this and substitute it here. Find out the value of lambda and tell me. Don't look at the textbook. You find out the value of lambda. Tell me.
Sir? 3
Yeah,
by
tell me.
14.
3 by 14, huh? What is it? 3 by 14, right?
Yes, sir.
So when you substitute 3 by 14 there, what will you get? You will get the equation of plane as x plus y plus z minus 6 plus, can I write it as 6 by 14x plus 9 by 14y plus 12 by 14z plus 5 is equal to 0. So collect all the terms and tell me what is it going to be. 14 plus 6 by x, that is 20 by 14x plus 23 by 14y plus 26 by 14z. Did I miss something? Plus 5 by 14, right? 5 means it is 15 by 14. So 15 by 14 minus 6, how much is that? Minus 84 plus 15. 9, 7, so 69. Minus 69 by 14 is equal to 0. Right? The 14 will go to the other side. So what is that you will have? 20x plus 23y plus 26z minus 69 is equal to 0. So what will be the vector equation, guys? R vector dot 20i cap plus 23j cap plus 26k cap is equal to 69. I'm not sure of calculation mistakes, but the method is this. Are you guys clear with the method?
Yes, sir.
So what is the answer there? No, we are right. So 20i cap plus 23j cap plus 26k cap is equal to 69. Yes. So this is all about finding the equation of plane passing through the intersection of two other planes.
Sir, how did
How
P1
did we?
plus? How
Sorry,
did you
how
get
did
P3 is equal to P1 plus lambda P2?
that is the equation, no? That is a formula. P1 plus lambda P2 is equal to 0. That is the equation of plane passing through the intersection of two planes.
Oh, okay, sir.
Clear? Okay. Now see. Next is coplanarity of two lines. So how to prove that two lines are coplanar? What do you mean by coplanar? Co refers to same, planar refers to same plane. So here our work is to prove that there are two lines and both the lines belong to the same plane. So how do we prove this? So write down the heading. Coplanarity of two lines. So coplanarity means same plane. Let the two lines be R is equal to A1 vector plus lambda times B1 vector. This is the general equation. Similarly, R vector will be equal to A2 vector plus lambda times B2 vector. So 1 minute, it is mu. I hope this point is clear, right? So R vector is equal to A1 plus lambda B1 and R is equal to A2 plus lambda, mu times B2. Now, what is the meaning of this? So R vector is equal to A vector means A vector is a point on the line. B1 vector is the vector to which the line is parallel to. Similarly, for the second line, A2 vector is a point on it and B2 vector is the one to which it is parallel to. Am I right? So how will you prove that these two lines are collinear? Sorry, not collinear, they are coplanar. Again, I have to show you something. I'm switching on the video, just let me know. Listen. See, this is one line, this is another line. I'm keeping them on the top of the book. Are you able to see?
Yes, sir.
Are they collinear?
Yes, sir.
Yes. No?
No, sir.
Yes.
They are not in the same thing, right? So, if this is R vector is equal to A1 vector plus lambda B1 vector, and this is R vector is equal to A2 vector plus mu times B2 vector, okay, these two are the lines. My work is to prove that these two are collinear by using the mathematical conditions. So, remember, A1 is a point on this line. Okay, this R vector is equal to A1 vector plus lambda B1 vector. So, A1 vector is a point on this line. So if I say this line is lying in this plane, if A1 is a point on this line, can I say A1 is a point on the plane also?
Yes.
Right. In a similar way, this is the vector, R vector is equal to A2 vector plus mu times B2 vector. So if I say A2 is a point on this, A2 is a point on this line, then A2 is also a point on the plane. Accepted? So now have one thing in your mind, A1 and A2 are where? Are on the line as well as on the plane.
Plane.
Is this point registered in your mind?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now comes the important point. So to this line, there is a vector B1 like this. Okay. And to this line, there is a vector parallel B2 like this. Right. So B1 vector is like this and B2 vector is like this. So through them, I can draw a plane like this. You're able to understand. So B1 vector is like this, B2 vector is like this. So what will I get if I do the cross product of B1 vector and B2 vector? So if I do the cross product of B1 vector and B2 vector, the resultant will be in which direction?
Along the plane.
Sorry, can you repeat it? Will it be perpendicular
Perpendicular to
to whom?
the original plane, the A1, B1.
It will be perpendicular to both B1 vector and B2 vector. So I've already told you, right? When you do the cross product between two vectors, it is always mutually perpendicular to both the vectors for which you're doing the cross product. Am I right? So remember, B1 vector is parallel to this line and B2 vector is parallel to this line. So if you do B1 vector cross B2 vector, the resultant is perpendicular to both B1 and B2. Can I say the same resultant is perpendicular to these two lines also?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Can I say it is perpendicular to this plane also? It will be like this. So because this is B1 vector, B2 vector, when you do the cross product, the resultant will be like this. So this is the direction of resultant of B1 cross B2. And remember, A1 and A2 are on the plane. Is everything registered in your mind? You have to visualize it. Is everything registered?
Yes, sir.
Is there
Yes,
it?
sir.
Okay. Now see, if this is A1 and A2, if this point is A1, so if this point is A1 and the other point is A2, what will be the line, what will be the equation of the line that is joining these two? Or what will be the equation of the vector that is joining these two vectors? A1 vector, A2 vector. Let me call A1 vector as P. So point P and Q. So what is the vector joining PQ? It is OQ vector minus OP vector.
Okay.
So the vector which is joining the point A1 and A2 will be A2 minus A1. And A2 minus A1, isn't it perpendicular to B1 cross B2? So B1,
Yes, sir.
B2. So A2 minus A1 is perpendicular to B1 cross B2. Then what is the relation between two perpendicular vectors?
Dot product is 0.
So that is the condition for coplanarity. Clear? So that is the main condition for coplanarity of whom? Of two lines. So I will show you the diagram which is given in the textbook. There is no diagram given. See. Okay. So this is the plane on which I'll draw a bigger diagram. Please write it down, okay? If there is any confusion, ask me. There is a plane like this. So one line is in this way, the other line is in this way. So what are the 2 points which are common to the line as well as the plane? A1 and A2, right? So the equation of this line is A1 plus lambda B1. The equation of this line is A2 plus mu times B2. Since, see, look at the points I'm writing. Forget about the one which is given in textbook. Since the point A and B belong to the line and the plane, then AB vector will be on the plane. And what is AB vector, guys?
A2 minus A1.
A2 vector minus A1 vector. So let this be equation number 1. Similarly, I am writing it here. Please make a clear note. B1 vector cross B2 vector is perpendicular to both what? So B1 vector and B2 vector is perpendicular to both B1 and B2 vector and also perpendicular to the plane. Just a minute. I will. So just 2 minutes. I'll draw it again. So this is A1, this A2, A, B. So AB vector is equal to A2 vector minus A1 vector. B1 vector cross B2 vector is perpendicular to both line L1 and L2, also perpendicular to A2 vector minus A1 vector. So which implies the dot product A2 vector minus A1 vector dot B1 vector cross B2 vector is equal to 0. So this is the condition for coplanarity. Got it? So if you're clear with this, I'll tell you how to apply this in problems. Shall I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, listen. So they're asking us to prove that these two lines are coplanar. So first write them in the vector form so that you will understand it better. So x is equal to minus 3 lambda. If I equate everything to lambda, okay. If I equate everything to lambda, can I write x is equal to minus 3 lambda? Similarly, what will y be?
1 plus lambda.
1 plus lambda.
Yes, 1 plus lambda. Z will be 5 plus 5 lambda. Similarly, if I equate this to mu, then x will be minus 1 minus mu. Y will be 2 plus 2 mu. Z will be 5 plus 5 mu. Right. So what is R vector? Minus 3i cap plus j cap plus 5k cap plus lambda times minus 3i cap plus j cap plus 5k cap. R vector for the second line is minus I cap plus 2j cap plus 5k cap plus mu times minus I cap plus 2j cap plus 5k cap. Accepted? Now have this in your mind, guys. There is A1 vector, there is A2 vector, this is B1 vector, there is B2 vector. So between B1 and B2, what are we supposed to do? Do the cross product. Between A1 and A2, subtract them, do the dot product between both. So what is B1 vector cross B2 vector? Tell me directly. IJK minus 315 minus 125. So I cap into 5 minus 10 minus j cap into minus 15 plus 5 plus k cap into minus 6 plus 1. So what will you get? Minus 5 I cap plus 10 j cap minus 5 k cap. Correct? So what is A2 vector minus A1 vector? That is 2i cap plus j cap plus 0 k cap. So the dot product between them should come out as a 0. So check if the dot product is 0. 2 into minus 5, 10 plus 10 into 1 is 10. It is coming out as 0. Are they coplanar or not?
Yes, coplanar.
Yes, sir.
They're coplanar. Right? So they have asked us to prove, right? They didn't ask us to find. Yes. So when they say show, it will show short be. So by now you should have understood. So some important points I'm trying to mention here. See, when you're trying to solve the when you're trying to find the vector equation of a plane that is passing through the intersection of two planes, try to solve them in the form of Cartesian. Try to write them in the Cartesian form and then solve. Whereas if you're trying to find the coplanarity and they have given you in Cartesian form, try to convert it into vector form and then solve. So you will get this by practice. You will know when to deal with which form. Okay. Okay. Next is find the angle between two planes. So listen. See, when I ask you to find the angle between two lines, what will you do? If I give R vector is equal to A1 vector plus lambda B1 vector and R vector is equal to A2 vector plus mu times B2 vector. If I ask you to find the equation between these two lines, then can I say equation between the lines is the equation between their direction ratios? That is, sorry, no, not equation, angle. The angle between the lines is equal to the angle between B1 vector and B2 vector. Can I say it like that? Guys, you're able to understand. We did this also in the last exercise.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, in a similar way, see, line is one dimension, plane is two dimensional. So mathematically, when you write the plane's equation, are you knowing the direction ratios of the plane, or will you be able to know only the direction ratios of its normal? So when I write the general equation of a plane, R vector dot n cap is equal to D, you're writing, no? You are able to know only the direction ratios of the normal to the plane. Whereas when you write a line, you are able to know the direction ratios of the line itself because B1 is parallel to line, but n cap is perpendicular to plane. So try to understand this difference. So I'm just doing a comparative study. So when they ask you to calculate the angle between lines, you will directly calculate it between their parallel vectors. Whereas when they ask you about the angle between angle between the planes, then you need to find the angle between their respective normals. Am I clear? So listen, if the planes are given in such a way that r vector dot n1 vector is equal to d1, here n1 is a normal vector, it's not a unit normal vector. It's not a unit vector. They have given the normal vector. So d1 doesn't mean it's the perpendicular distance from origin. Have that in your mind. Similarly, r vector dot n2 vector is equal to d2. So the angle between two planes is given by the angle between two normal vectors. So how will you find the angle between two normal vectors? Cos theta is equal to a vector dot b vector divided by magnitude of a1 vector into magnitude of b1 vector. So this is going to be the formula for angle between two planes. Guys, am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Sir, n vector is the perpendicular distance, right, sir, from origin.
It's not the distance, it is the perpendicular vector to the plane.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay.
N vector is perpendicular to the plane. Got it? Shall we do a problem? See. Find the angle between the planes 2x plus y minus 2z is equal to 5 and 3x minus 6y minus 2z is equal to 7 using vector method. Okay, solution. So what is n1 vector? You guys directly tell me what is n1 vector.
2i cap plus
Very good.
j
2i cap plus j cap
cap minus 2k
minus.
cap.
Very good. So n2 vector is
3i cap minus 6j cap minus 2k cap.
Minus 2k cap. That's right. Perfect. So they're asking us to find using the vector method. So what is cos theta? n1 vector dot n2 vector divided by magnitude of n1 vector into magnitude of n2 vector. So what is n1 dot n2, guys? 6 minus 6 plus 4 the whole divided by square root of 2 plus 1 plus 4 plus 1 plus 4, that is 9 into square root of 9 plus 36, 45 plus 4, 49. So 6 and 6 is gone, 4 divided by 21. So theta will be how much? Cos inverse of 4 divided by 21. Clear?
Yes.
So make a note of this. Once, let me check the answer alone. Yes, that's right. Shall I move on? See, again, they're asking find the angle between the two planes. Can you guys do it fast? Three I cap minus 6. So n1 vector is equal to 3i cap minus 6j cap plus 2k cap. n2 vector is equal to 2i cap plus 2j cap minus 2k cap. So what is cos theta? n1 vector dot n2 vector divided by magnitude of n1 vector into magnitude of n2 vector. So that will be 6 minus 12 plus 4, the whole divided by square root of 49 into square root of 4 plus 4 plus 4, 12. So this will be how much? 10 minus 2 divided by 7 into 2 root. It's minus 4, sorry. 3 into
Sir,
2,
is
6.
it pi divided by 7 root 3,
Yeah, yeah.
sir?
Yeah. So 6 minus 4 is
minus 5 divided by 7 root 3.
minus 5, right?
Yes,
Minus
sir,
5.
minus
Actually, you will get minus 10. How much is it? 2. Yes, minus 10 you will get. Minus 5
minus
divided.
10.
Yeah, yeah. The 2 will cancel. Okay. So, for this, one important point is angle between the two planes. We will consider only the acute angles as the angle between the two planes. So, for the angles to be acute, what we need to do is we need to take a modulus. So, what will the answer be? It will be plus 5. So, I'll tell you why this is being taken. You might get confused. So, just for you to visualize it, I'm going to show it to you again. So, I told you only acute angles are taken. We need to understand why it is so. Right? So, listen. This is a plane. This is a plane, and this is another plane. So, when I say angle between the planes, you can always measure the angle only between lines. So, the normal to this plane is like this, and the normal to this plane will be like this. You're able to understand. So, there's one normal, there's another normal. If you're able to find the angle between, so I've taken it like this. Okay. So one normal is like this and the other normal is like this. This angle is taken as this angle is what? This is theta. So between two vectors or between two lines, you can always define two types of angles. Observe, no? You yourself can see it. You're able to see? If I call this as theta, is this theta an acute angle or obtuse angle according to the way I held it?
Acute.
Acute.
Acute. So whenever you find the angle between two lines, you will always get two angles. That is why last year when you see, using the slopes, there would have been a formula tan theta is equal to mod of M2 minus M1. That is why you use a plus or a minus. Okay. If this is acute, then how much is this angle?
Obtuse.
Obtuse, right?
T60
Because this
minus
is
X.
theta, this will be 180 minus theta. So if you have to measure the angle between the normals, which one you are supposed to take into consideration? If you take this one, that is more than sufficient. Okay, when you report the answer, you will measure it like this. But you have to have one thing in your mind that there will be two angles that are existing. One is acute and one is obtuse. If you see in this particular question, what angle did we actually get? We got minus 5 by 7 root 3. Cos theta is negative in the second quadrant. So second quadrant, the angle is obtuse. But according to the mathematics, Guys, whether I had some network issue. Was my explanation clear? Did you guys understand why we are taking only acute angle? Hello? Are you guys able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I hope I completed the explanation, right? Was there any network issue in between? I'm not able to hear you guys. I think there is some network issue. So please confirm if I'm audible. I'll proceed.
So you're audible,
Yes, sir,
sir.
you're audible.
Audible,
yeah,
right?
audible.
Okay. But I'm not getting response from your side. So secondly, I just wanted to find out, did you guys understand what I explained, the acute angle concept?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Okay. So we are almost done with this chapter. There is one last subtopic that is pending. We'll finish that. So that is, so I'll tell you what are all omitted. I just checked. The angle between planes is actually not there. They have removed it for this year. But it's better if you know, not an issue. Next is the angle between line and a plane is also removed. Okay. So the last concept that is left out is distance of a point from a plane. This is very, very simple. Okay. Distance of a point from a plane is like this. See, I will connect it to two-dimensional geometry and explain. Last year, if you had a line like this, ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, do you guys remember what is the perpendicular distance from the point x1, y1 to this line? So do you guys know the distance? It is ax1 plus by1 plus c. Did you guys see this kind of a formula by root of a square plus b square? At least tell me, have
Yes,
you
sir.
seen this kind of?
Yes, sir.
You have
Yes.
seen it, right? So what we are supposed to do is, you have the point which is given. If you need to find the distance, see, whenever they say a distance from a point to a line, it is always a perpendicular distance. Okay. So in the equation of that line, you need to just substitute that point and divide the whole thing with root of a square plus b square. In a similar way, if ax plus by plus cz plus d is equal to 0 is the equation of a plane where capital ABC represent the direction ratios of the normal to the plane, then the distance from the point x1, y1, z1 to this plane will be what? You just extend the formula. Tell me what will be the answer. Modulus of, just extend the formula that
ax
ax1
plus
Plus
by1
by 1
z1
plus cz1
plus
plus
d
d
plus d divided by,
root over
root
a
of
square
a square plus
plus
b
b square plus c square.
that's the answer. That is the perpendicular distance. Okay. So I'm not showing you the proof and all unnecessary thing. So that is the perpendicular distance. Okay, here they have written it as minus d because they have taken ax plus by plus cz is equal to d. I took it as plus d. So when you need to apply this formula, the thumb rule is you need to ensure that the right hand side is 0. That is the only point. You please make a note of it. If this formula has to be applied, the right hand side should be 0. Okay, I will apply this and show it to you. See guys. find the distance of a point from the plane. Solution. So whenever you're dealing with plane, no, my suggestion would be you deal it in the form of, you deal it in the Cartesian form. So what is the Cartesian form, guys?
6x minus
6x
3y plus
That's
2z equal to 4.
Plus 2z minus 4 is equal to 0. We'll bring it to the standard form. So what will be the distance? Modulus of 6 into, in the place of x, what will you substitute?
2.
2.
Good. Minus 3 into 5 plus 2 into minus 3 minus 4 the whole divided by root of 6 square plus minus 3 square plus 2 square. Right. So this will be modulus of 12 minus 15 minus 6 minus 4 the whole divided by root of 36 plus 9 plus 4. So that is 49. So how much is answer, guys? So
13
minus
by
6
7.
minus 13 by 7. Huh? So 13 by 7 units is the answer. Okay. So with this, we have completed the portion for three-dimensional geometry. Because angle between two lines, two planes, and between the line and the plane is actually removed. To be very honest, they are not very tough concepts that they have been removed. Okay. So the only thing that you don't know till now is angle between a line and a plane. That is not needed. Okay. If you know the angle between two lines and two planes, if you have clarity about what it is enough for you to solve the other problems. Okay. So angle between the line and the plane, not there. And I asked you to do problems, you have done it. Right. So the other problems, you can try it. Guys, am I clear? So with this, we are done with three-dimensional geometry. That's it. That's the end. So this exercise also, I would suggest you all to try. You guys do it on your own. If there are any doubts, you can ask me. Next class, we will start probability. And maximum we'll finish it in 2 to 3 classes. Okay, is there any other doubt, guys, from today's class?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, right?
No, sir.
So can you share these notes, sir?
I'll do this. I'll do it. Which one do you want me to share?
The written one, sir.
The one, see, I'll show you. This one, right? This page.
Yes, sir.
This page is what I'll do it.
Sir, can
Thank
you
you,
send the
Okay, just wait for
problem from document also, sir?
problem from?
Sir,
Problems
problem
from?
from
Oh,
document.
oh, the ones which I solved. This one you are asking. This page.
Yes, sir.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll send it immediately. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Conceptually, no other doubts, no, guys. Nothing in your mind like from the previous exercise or something. I hope everybody has tried it sincerely. No doubts, right?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Good then. So just wait for a minute.